Imagine a world where the seasons are not dictated by the sun, but by a silent, eldritch cycle known only as the Veiled Harvest, a time when reality thins and ancient entities come to collect their due. You are part of a fractured society that has forgotten the old pacts, only to find that the first fracture isn't just a geological event, but the breaking of a cosmic seal that has kept humanity safe for millennia. But when you discover that survival isn't about hiding from the harvest, but about understanding the terrifying symbiosis between your bloodline and the things that dwell beyond the veil, you realize that salvation lies not in resistance, but in mastering the dark rituals that bind two worlds together. Welcome to the Veiled Harvest, the first fracture, the pulse-pounding, atmospheric, and deeply strategic debut in Magnus J. Vinter's dark fantasy saga. If you love Eldritch horror tropes, occult mystery, and stories that explore the sheer, unadulterated terror of facing ancestral curses through grit, ingenuity, and superior tactics, this audiobook will completely consume you. It is a masterclass in speculative fiction, blending the visceral chill of folk horror with the profound weight of forbidden knowledge. The narrative kicks off with our protagonist's discovery of a hidden family grimoire, thrusting them into a race against time to decipher its warnings before the first wave of the harvest claims their community. The atmosphere is thick with the scent of damp soil and iron, the static of whispered prayers, and the creeping dread of knowing that every shadow hides a debt that must be paid in blood. Vinter excels at capturing the psychological toll of inherited trauma, making every tactical maneuver, every ritual preparation, and every narrow escape feel like a high-stakes gamble where the price of failure is not just death, but eternal servitude to the unseen. At the core of the book's massive appeal is its spectacular occult investigator trope and the brilliant asymmetric warfare dynamic. This isn't just about fighting monsters, it's about understanding the complex ecology of supernatural politics, managing limited spiritual resources, and using human ingenuity to outsmart entities that have hunted your ancestors for centuries. Watching the protagonist reverse engineer ancient wards, craft protective talismans from rare materials, and completely shock arrogant cultists with unconventional lore-heavy tactics is incredibly satisfying. The audiobook narration brings the visceral impact of the rituals and the bone-deep chill of the supernatural encounters to life, making every revelation feel like a hard-earned victory against the dark. But beyond the horror and the mystery, the soul of the Veiled Harvest lies in its characters and the heavy burden of legacy. The protagonist isn't just a cold, calculating survivor. They are a deeply human individual struggling to reconcile their modern morality with the brutal demands of an ancient pact. They quickly form bonds with a beautifully dysfunctional found family of fellow seekers who help them navigate the treacherous waters of occult society. The banter is razor-sharp, providing much-needed levity as their squad watches them casually decode a curse that would drive lesser minds to madness. Their unbreakable trust provides the emotional grounding needed when the veil tears open and literal nightmares step through. As the plot accelerates towards its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. A major convergence or a rival coven's betrayal forces the protagonist to push their abilities to their absolute limits. The finale is a spectacular display of tactical brilliance, overwhelming arcane power, and raw, unbridled courage. The protagonist doesn't just survive the harvest, they completely rewrite the terms of the pact, using a ridiculous, highly technical combination of forgotten lore and modern ingenuity to turn the entity's ultimate claim into a mere negotiation. The payoff is spectacular, delivering a massive, dopamine-fueled victory that proves the most dangerous weapon against the dark isn't steel or spell, it's the one who understands the rules better than the monsters themselves. The Veiled Harvest, the first fracture, is a triumph of the dark fantasy and horror genres. It is smart, atmospheric, and unapologetically intense. Magnus J. Vinter has crafted a debut that perfectly captures the thrill of surviving the apocalypse with a grimoire and a strategy guide. Plug in your headphones, light a candle, and join the harvest. The veil is thin, but your will is stronger.